90.7 The Capstone. I'm here with Easy Honey, a band from Charleston, South Carolina. They've been touring the East Coast. Their recent album, Peach Fuzz, plus some new singles.
Yeah.
So welcome to the studio, guys.
Hey.
Thanks so much for having us.
Yes. I always like to start off by just having you go around, introduce yourself, and what you do with the band.
I'm Darby McGlone. I play some guitar and sing for Easy Honey.
I'm Webster Austin. I play bass.
I'm Selby Austin, and I play guitar and sing.
You guessed it, we're brothers.
And I'm Charlie Holt, and I play the drums.
Awesome. Well, once again, thanks for being in the studio. How'd you guys meet? How did we get to this point?
Well, so Charlie, Darby, and I met at Sewanee College in Tennessee, and that's where the band formed. We moved to Charleston afterwards and really started working harder at the music and started touring. Really, I think when did we start touring? Like right before COVID happened. Really is when it started, and then it got cut short. And so we're really kind of just finding our legs under us now as far as getting out into the world a little in the physical sense. But yeah, the band formed in 2017 at Sewanee College.
I was looking at so self-titled album came out like about 2018.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, from really starting the band to having an album out like within a year-ish, like that,
Yeah.
Was that always a goal for you guys to have that be out there, to have a project to attach your name to?
So the first self-titled album was recorded in Nashville in 3 days after. So we graduated and took everything we really had thus far and had written together collectively and went and recorded it in a barn in Nashville, more or less. Spent a couple of days of pre-production in our older brother's house.
Because Sewanee's near Nashville.
Right, so, yes.
And it wasn't really this overarching goal of ours. I feel like it just kind of culminated to a point where we were all like, we've got some songs, let's put it out there in the world, let's record it.
We had some songs we had played in college, and
Yeah.
I think we were
ready
ready to record something, and we were planning to continue the band, and we were ready to record, and we were encouraged and led via Selby and Webster's older brother
It's a shepherd of sorts
to
the first album.
do it as well as we could. And
The interesting part was we were just really thinking we'd have a CD, and this was because it was even back a little more dated of like people still kind of listen to CDs. Maybe not. Maybe that's totally false. I'm not sure.
They still kind of did.
I think they still like that was kind of like the last cars were being made with the CD player. Anyway, so the idea was just to take the CD to Charleston where we were moving and
Shop it around a little bit.
and shop it around, yeah. And then what was awesome about it is people really, liked it, and it got, stuck in people's cars hilariously, and they know it so well because it's like the only CD they have.
and our business savvy to get shows was to carry these yellow envelopes around town with a CD and a sticker in it.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was a sticker. It was just funny. Instead of like emailing, the manager or something.
Yeah, hey, it sticks out.
It was funny.
I always find titles to be such an interesting thing. I wanted to talk about the title of the recent album, Peach Fuzz. What does that title mean to you? How does that sort of culminate in everything that the album is about?
Oh wow!
Describe everything the album is about.
Well, what's interesting about should we start with the origin of the name first, or what is it? Okay, the origin of the name, to give it away, was that we were experimenting with a tone in the studio that was just essentially, it's nothing new, the Beatles did it, but it's like a guitar directly plugged into the board with the gain cranked, and then like into another channel with like the gain cranked, and it was this really cool sound. It was a fuzz sound.
It's the sound on, if you've ever heard the song,
the Taxman song.
The Revolution. The Revolution one.
Yep.
That's that sound.
Yeah, and
The Beatles.
The Beatles.
That's
the
the Beatles. But yeah, so anyway, I think Wolf was like, someone said Peach Fuzz, and we were like, that is an awesome name. Like, that would be so cool. But what's interesting about it for me is that I think that a lot of the music / lyrics of the tunes were reflective on the time of our formation, and in a more kind of the salad days, of being in college and not having as many, being privileged without not having to worry about a lot. And honestly, it's like we got to create music together and do what we did at Swanee. So, but the term Peach Fuzz obviously just meaning like adolescence essentially. I think that's how it ties it around for me. Did that make sense? Does that make sense?
I felt
Yeah.
like youthfulness.
Yeah.
We receive some feedback that our music is nostalgic in a way. For like I think something that we try to do with we want our music to make people be introspective, and search in their lives and see the important things and reflect on things. And I think that is that name Peach Fuzz aligns with the feedback of nostalgia, and something that I think that is inherent in the music that we make.
We're gonna take a break real quick, and we're gonna play you some music from Easy Honey. Here's "Gotta Get Back" on 90.7 WVUA.
Spent my weekend thinking of your face. Call the creep and freak by every date. Getting cotton mouth as I'm looking south, ignites feelings every time. Saw Samantha at the Lemon Heads. Was a not so good time for resurrecting all our makeout sesh. Evan Dando's breath ignites feelings every time. Wanna get back, gotta get back. You're making all the minds. Wanna get back, gotta get back. You're master of disguise. Wanna get back, gotta get back. Quit throwing all the lines today. Well, alright. Welcome to my mind. Welcome to my mind. You're welcome all the time. Wanna get back, gotta get back. You're really outside tonight, my dove.
This is 90.7 WVUA talking with Easy Honey. We just heard "Gotta Get Back" off their album Peach Fuzz. I did want to ask, I was thinking about everyone has their own music influences and everything like that. But I think sort of a more interesting question is, what are your non-music influences? Who's a non-music creator that inspires you to create?
That's such a good question. What's that dude who directed all the Rushmore stuff? I really like all his movies.
Wes Anderson.
Yeah, I know that's such a indie band thing to say. It really does. It inspires the hell out of me. I really like his stuff.
I've been doing some carpentry, like at a very basic, new entry level, like just kind of learning things. And there's this guy. This is like really recent. It's not like me as a kid or anything, but like, or maybe it is because I always like kind of making things. But like, Brent Hull is like an architectural historian who he has this YouTube series of like all these different like classic styles of like home building that are like elaborate and beautiful and like long lasting and like time tested. And I've really been into like just checking those out every now and then, and like it's just a lot of cool stuff, and it just inspires that like, oh, I want to do that. I want to make some cool stuff, or like, and I think that is applicable to how we would like our favorite band, you know, and be like, oh, I want to play that music. And I think it's all kind of congruent, obviously, because it's my taste of one thing or another, you know.
Yeah. Someone for me that I just adore is like Tolkien, all the Lord of the Rings stuff. I'm like, that's just I've read all that stuff, and I'm withholding from watching the new Amazon series, but like, I just get lost in that, and like that's something that takes me somewhere else, which is extremely powerful. So
Darby's been reading The Hobbit for the last year.
yeah, it's been like at least six,
Basically,
so
the existence of
like
the band
6 years.
is congruent with Darby's reading of Tolkien.
It's quite parallel.
What is cool is we have like, I think you and I specifically, and therefore like tangibly you too, but like there's a cool dichotomy of our band that I think creates something for the better. It's like if you watch The Simpsons growing up, I watched King of the Hill. Like there's like, I mean, you might have watched King of the Hill too.
I hated King of the Hill.
Okay, yeah, there
I was
you
like,
go.
my dad was like, no, it's off. Like 8:30 TV.
I mean, we share a lot of the same stuff, but also we like, you know, that's the cool thing about being in a band is like the ability to kind of work together on things. And you know, it's like, okay, we're here. It's like, let's take this here, and you know, keep stacking and making the best thing possible. You know, like in a melting pot sort of way, but also pushing each other. And having those different references. I'm talking about like 3 different things at once right now.
Yeah, here, I'll bring it back around. I kind of have like a, and it's part of me joining the band later, and again, coming in as a fan is like, I would put my nerding out on movies or books or whatever, or like musicology. I would like apply my meaning or something to like what they've written, and I feel like we kind of do that a little bit. Maybe they're like oblivious to that fact, but like,
You mean like applying like what you love into like lyrics and songs that we've written and stuff?
or like even if you weren't consciously aware of what you were writing at the time, I'm like, oh well, that's like really like this thing, and then but if we just like change this word, or even if we don't change anything, it's like, hey, it's like that, and it has its place in, you know, the greater art world, which, you know, context is everything, and
That's cool.
but yeah, and so y'all don't nerd out as much.
We nerd out.
Yeah,
I feel like
we do.
nerd out.
Like we go there, but y'all kind of just it's subconscious when y'all are writing it, and I feel like if you were thinking too much about y'all, that's not y'all's writing style. Y'all
That's
maybe not.
Well, I think like sometimes it is, and if you can catch that wave of like inspiration and ride on something intentionally and like pours out of you. But if you like, you can also catch yourself up in like some concept that restricts you, you know. But if you're like allow that concept to like break down doors, then you can just go, consciously or subconsciously. I feel like.
I thought that was cool. I thought that was a cool cool thing to point out. It's cool.
Discovery.
Yeah.
That's cool.
It's like you can draw upon pretty much any experience, you know.
Something that the producer who we've been working with noticed from Peach Fuzz to the new stuff we've been working on is how like lyrically Darby's style has kind of gone in more of a unrealistic escapism, you know, and
Not tangible.
yeah.
And
But your lyrics recently have been more everyday life.
Yeah. I think now would be a good time to break and listen to some of that new music.
Cool.
This is 90.7 WVUA. We're going to play Spells by Easy Honey, and we'll be right back.
The tinsel twang and the gals and all what they said is cracked up to be. They ask me how I go from town to town. I tell them slowly. Because we're on a mess and the sunset's kissing softly. I never fell in line with what other people think of me. The quiet hum of the bugs and singing creek, so damn real. Your outlook and box and your yellow pad, making big money feels. I got no meetings to make, but a girl who loves me so damn well. I'm not an outlaw today, but I'm a dedicated searcher for spells. Have you found your spell? Have you found your spell? A loving life that you have may be the only thing that's worth living. 'Cause it can fill those cracks in your whole life that keep you tripping. Blue cans for ornaments and the sunset's kissing me softly. I'm not an outlaw today, but I'm a dedicated searcher for spells. Have you found your spell? Have you found your spell? Have you found your spell?
If you're just joining us, I'm talking with the band Easy Honey here on 90.7 WVUA. Where are we on the tour and everything?
Well, it looks like this could be more midway through via the poster, but we're on a 30-day run. This,
Okay.
Yeah, this is day 2 of a 30-day run, and we're hitting a lot of new markets that we haven't been in before. We're going to Louisiana we're going to New Orleans, and then we're going to Austin and Dallas.
Maybe Baton Rouge now.
Maybe going to Baton Rouge as well.
Marriage movers on the road.
I also wanted to ask, just from a performing standpoint, as you're touring, what's your favorite song to play? Whenever you're up there, what song gives you like the most joy to play?
The song Steady and Vertigo was our second to last release. That song we built in the studio a little more, track by track, and it was a little rough. For whatever reason, getting to sound good with the band, which is not how we usually record. We usually have the song super dialed in, and we
It was
go
like a new method that we hadn't really done before, which was refreshing.
Yeah, and it created a different product. You know, the song, I think, sonically sounds different, and it's
What's interesting about that one is that it took us a while to feel good about playing it, and now it's, I feel like, one of our most powerful headbanging tunes that we play live, which is cool. It's like we've transformed it in a way, but also built it up to a really solid live performance.
Sounding good now.
And ironically enough, when I joined, it was like the first practice we played was the first thing we played.
And I think for me to answer part of your question was, I was going to say Steady and Vertigo too, which it sounds like most of us are.
Yeah.
I'm not there.
Maybe Webb's
I
not.
like,
But I was going to say
still
Vertigo, so Steady and Vertigo, and another one that's not released is Daddy Daughter. I don't know when we'll put that one out.
That one's for all the Phoebe
I
Bridgers
keep pushing for
fans.
that one, but they're both on that same path of a new writing, recording style, and I think it's coming out good. I don't know. I like playing it. I feel good.
Darby, what would you say?
I'd say this song called Habitat off Peach Fuzz. It like it sort of is this like self. I feel like every time we play it, I'm like trying to bring out the best of myself singing, which is cool. And we do this bridge in it that's not on the album, which is pretty banging. Yeah.
Then Webb, what do you think? What song gives you the most joy to play?
Wishes. It's one of our more streamed songs, but for a bass player, it's very easy to groove because it's one note, but it's just about the groove, if that makes sense. And we usually place it like 1 to 2 to 3 songs in after kind of like some, heavy hitting attention getter, like right off the rip. And so that kind of like brings it down, but like everyone's still okay. Whereas, you got to make sure that when you bring it down a little bit, that they're not just going to like, that's their go take a piss song. But because the groove is so nice between Charlie and I, thanks to Charlie, and it's just real simple, But then halfway through, it just has a ripping part that brings it back up, and it's like really a biblical kind of part of a song. And there's kind of a drop, and it hits pretty hard. And a lot of people love it.
I like that. We always like to ask, and I think this is especially poignant to where you guys came from, coming from Swanee, meeting in college and everything. We have a lot of bands here, a lot of people making their own music. Being where you are now, what advice would you give to people who are maybe in school or just at this time in life trying to make music and make it?
I think you have to be able to hustle a little bit. I think there's a lot of really good bands out there that they're like really good musicians and they write good tunes, but maybe they don't have the teamwork thing down where they're really all pushing, I think, to really get things done that need to be done. Not in like in a cold sense, but like just as a necessity. I think that's something Selby has, and all of us have been like really working on as a team, I think, to just be better at that. And I think it shows it's fruitful. And I think a lot of bands just miss out on that and maybe get a little bit laid back on it.
Yeah,
Or dreamy about it, maybe.
when the Thanksgiving feast comes, it's like we've all put in the work to sow the seeds to create the bountiful harvest that.
Dude, turkeys don't grow from the earth, bro.
No, yeah, I was thinking of
Vegan turkeys.
Vegan turkey.
Vegan turkeys.
Vegan turkey. That was well said. I like that.
Yeah, it's because he complimented you, man.
Yeah, I would say remember the fun things. Just remember making things for fun.
It's like that balance of like really loving it and like doing it because you love it, but then also having the discipline to like get the work done, but then knowing that you're doing the work because you love it, so it's that. And if you really want it, like you gotta really want it. Like if you don't, then you're not gonna get anywhere. So
Sounds good. Well, I think that's a great place to end on. I think we'll end this last song. I know it was some of our favorite songs to play among the group, at least half the group favorite song to play, Steady and Vertigo. So we'll close out with Steady and Vertigo. Thank you so much, Easy Honey, for being in the studio with us.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
I'm looking for a pair of shoes, something that I can really sink my feet into. Doctors, I need support in my life. I figure what I got feeling heavy again. You're floating up and out, sight looking right at. You're feeling steady and flying and vertigo. Steady and vertigo. Now I'm steady and vertigo. I'm steady and vertigo. Steady and vertigo. Going over the same old patterns. We're going over the same old patterns. We're going over the same old patterns. We're going over the same old patterns. Steady in vertigo. Steady in vertigo. Steady in vertigo. Steady in vertigo. Imagine I was feeling light.